Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and please remain standing for a moment of silence. Yes.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Here.
Here.
Yes. Motion passed. All commissioners, roll call. All commissioners present. Four present, one absent. This building is killing us. Number 3, declaration of conflict of interest. There is none. Communications. Okay. The minutes for March 4th, 2014.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
make a motion to accept the March 4th, 2014 minutes.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, motion passes. Four commissioners present, one absent. Number 6, homebound forgivable loan approval for Christopher Mills and Stephanie Pineda.
Commissioners, both applicants for the homebound conditional forgivable loan program are present.
Would like to come up? Any questions, commissioners?
Just a few basic questions. How'd you find out about the program?
I found out from my realtor from 21st Century, and her name is Lori.
Okay.
I found out by a coworker.
Awesome. Word's getting around.
Yeah.
It's good. Word of mouth.
Word of mouth, absolutely. That's good news. Any more questions, commissioners?
Madam President,
Yes,
I'd like to make a motion for the homebound conditional forgivable loan approval for the 2 applicants.
Second.
thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, motion passes. All commissioners are present. Good luck to you guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 7, proposal for engineering, environmental, and demolition services for 7244, 7250 Columbia Avenue.
Commissioners, this building is owned by the Hammond Development Corporation. As you can see in your packet, you have an inspections report from Kirk Cook on the issues and basically code violations that we have with the building, and therefore it is technically considered a slum and blight building. Because of that, we can use our HUD demolition funds, which is what we have our demolition money set aside for, to help take the building down. However, through that process, we're going to have a phase 1, and because of the history of the property, potentially it could end up being a phase 2. And then, of course, because we're using federal funds on the project, we also have to hire a company, we're going to talk to Mr. Blosky here in just a second, who is on our approved environmental consultants list. And then we ask that we have somebody out there every day and supervise the demolition. So we've had a couple incidents in the past where demolitions have happened, and there's been a few things that didn't go exactly like they were supposed to. So with that, I'll turn it over to John, and if you have any questions of him, he'll be happy to answer.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Welcome, John.
I estimated the demolition cost about $60,000, and basically our services to inspect the building and design and bid, public bid, advertisement, all that is about 4%, and to manage to have somebody on site the entire time is 8%. The higher cost, though, is the services for the environmental review. And the reason that's so high is it's all regulatory push through HUD. We have to go through from historic preservation, the state historic office, We have to do a noise study, we check floodplains, Fish and Wildlife Service, any unique natural features in the area. We have to discuss nuisances, local nuisance and hazards around the building and with the building. Even though it sounds basic, we still have to talk about the water supply, the sanitary system, the storm sewer system, the fire, police, safety. There's so much that goes into this environmental review for these projects. And working with other departments in the city, oftentimes when it's even smaller than this, some small commercial buildings where demolition might be $12,000, well, the environmental review would cost pretty much that to do it in itself, so they use other funds to do that. But when you get into larger parcels, to use the HUD funds is just one of those. That's why that one portion costs so much, so.
How long has the building been empty?
Technically, it's not empty. There is a grocery store in there. We are working with the owner. We're trying to find a new site for him. He wants to be relocated somewhere within the city. We have identified a site. I don't want to say where because, you know, could have competitors and things of that nature. But the short answer is we're working with him. Our Economic Development Department, Africa Tarver, is working with him to try and relocate him.
Good. Any questions, commissioners? Discussion?
I'm sorry, what was that amount that you initially stated?
So, approximately $60,000 for the demolition.
Because I didn't see that in here.
Oh, that's just an estimate I put in.
Yeah, we're going to have to actually bid out the demolition. So it's going to have to go in the newspapers, and anybody who wants to submit an offer can do it at that time, a bid.
That building, that's on the west side of the street?
It's on the northwest corner.
Okay, I know which building you're talking
Yes. Most of it's been vacant for quite a while. And actually, just driving past it yesterday, I noticed people are parking their cars in the what I call the back side of the building. So we're going to have to address that as well. Obviously, we don't want, the building looks old and has a lot of issues. So I think people just think they could do whatever they want on the site. But we're going to clean it up. And then who knows what the reuse will be in the future. We'll hopefully have a new commercial development at some point.
After we get in and do our inspection, I'll be able to give you a more accurate demolition cost.
about. And we own this?
It's owned by the Hammond Development Corporation, HDC. But when we use our HUD demolition dollars, typically, I think all the projects we've done, we've only owned one. Most of the time, if our building department says we have a building that's slum and blight, we'll use our dollars to rear the building.
I don't have any other questions.
Any more questions, commissioners? Any discussion?
No, I guess I have one little comment. He already stated yeah, I would recommend either a project manager or inspector be there for this project.
Yeah, and we have that in on the project management for the duration of
That's
the job.
required by OSHA, correct?
Yeah, Department of Labor Standards.
Thank you.
Madam President, then?
Yes, Commissioner.
I guess I'd like to make a motion, the proposal for the engineering environmental demolition services for 7244-7250 Columbia Avenue for Miracle Incorporated.
Second that.
Roll call, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, motion passes. All commissioners present.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks, John. Okay, number 8, Mr. Taylor.
I don't have any official report. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. You know what, I'll throw this out because it just popped in my head, is last week I met with the real estate broker for what we call Gateway Promenade, which is the Kmart building the old Kmart building right off Indianapolis Boulevard across from Cabela's. They expressed that they have already had 4 or 5 proposals of companies that want to move in there. However, they're not just jumping at the first few people that come to them. They're waiting to see all of the different interests that they receive, and then at that time, they'll determine who the best users are. Because right now, they're not just selling property, they're also trying to lease part of the property. So, and the reason they're trying to lease is once they get a nice lease in place, it makes the property value higher for sale. So they're doing both.
Good. Any questions, discussions, Commissioners?
Are those long-term leases?
I would guess they would be. I don't think you're going to get many businesses that are going to move in there that are going to have to incur the costs that they would to put up the building or potentially do the build-out for the actual Kmart portion of the property if they're not going to have a long-term lease. I think they'd have to.
I have a silly question.
Yeah.
Could you please define a long-term and a short-term lease?
I mean, I would think, and again, this is just, you're getting my opinion on this. A business that's going to move in there is probably not going to go in there for less than a 5-year lease, for example, but probably more in the line of a 10-year lease, somewhere along those lines. And it's going to depend on the business. It's also going to depend on the deal. If the owner of the property is going to pay for the build-out, then you may have somebody who is willing to sign a shorter-term lease. But the higher the investment's going to be, the longer they're going to want to know that they're going to be able to stay there. So it'll just be determined by what businesses are moving in and how much they're paying.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any more discussions, Commissioners? Any questions? Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
Luana, got something for us?
Just a couple things. At the end of the month, I'll be attending a HUD training. HUD is actually thinking about going electronic with all of our submissions of our reports, our consolidated plan, as well as our CAPER report. So they're going to have a training at the end of the month that I'll be attending. We're also working on some upcoming events. The one, we're working with our faith-based community on the prayer breakfast that's going to take place on May the 1st at the Dynasty from 8 to 10. The second event that we're working on is the Realtors Breakfast, and we're working with Ganaya, and that's going to take place on May 22nd at the Lost Marsh Golf Course, and that's also from 8 to 10. We're still waiting on an official word from Hammers for Hearts. They're probably going to let us know how many houses they'll be able to do by the end of the month. So I'm looking probably about 35 to 40 homes that the kids will be able to help out with, painting and small repairs.
And when is the Hammers for Hearts going to?
Hammers for Hearts is the week of June 23rd.
Okay. And you said the prayer breakfast is May the 1st?
Yes,
And
at the Dynasty from 8 to 11.
the Dynasty, okay. Okay, I may not be able to be there. I think I'm going to be out of town then. Okay. Any questions for Ms. Miller?
Thank you.
Number 9.
Madam President,
Yes,
I'd
Commissioner.
like to make a motion to pay the register of claims for February 27th through March 12th of 2014. Register claims number R50114 through R50185.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion passes. All commissioners are present. Okay, number 10, new and unfinished business. New and unfinished business. Seeing we have none. Number 11, comments. 3 minutes, please. Our public does not want to speak. While we're in the public comments, I'd like to recognize our councilwoman, Ms. Janet Vaness. Welcome. Thank you for visiting us. No public. Number 12.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor, please say, oh, do we need a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye.